Today I have a follow-up video to the video I did last week in Adobe Illustrator to show how I export multiple artboards for social media. So I have this quote file I've set up. I have 16 quotes. They're all named the same. All the artboards are named the same. And this is similar to the layout I had in Adobe Illustrator. Each social media post is a separate artboard. So the way I set up a new artboard size is to start a new document, and I just set the size for my first artboard, and I make sure that this artboard checkbox is checked. And so then I create, and it'll set my first artboard size. And I can name it here, just name it in a consistent way so that when you export, all the files are named the same, and then you can do a search and you can easily find what you need if you name them a certain way, depending on how you would need to retrieve them. So, for example, if I wanted to do an Instagram campaign similar to the one I have set up in the quote document, I would just duplicate my artboard, and it'll just keep duplicating it across. And then if I want to go down, what I do is I just select I'll collapse these and duplicate them. And with my move tool selected, I'll just nudge them down. And then just align them. And then I can start to build a campaign with consistent art elements, etc. When I duplicate an artboard, I usually have some basic elements on the artboard so that when I duplicate it, I can just edit the variable information. So that's not really the case here, but if all the art was the same, then I would do it that way. The type actually is all the same. The type treatment is the same across the entire campaign, so I could do that with the type. So I'll show you how I export easily. I have all these named consistently, and I do File, Export, and I have it set up as JPEG. You can set your export settings here, Export As. And for example, I can pick the artboards I want. If you want to do a quick export, you can just export all of them. If you want to edit your settings, you can do it here. I can adjust the size. Export preferences will let me adjust the format here. But I'm going to go back to JPEG because that's what I want for this particular. No, I think I'll go with PNG actually. Same as my last video. If it's just art, you can get away with PNG pretty easily, and sometimes it's a smaller file. So File, Export, I do quick export as PNG, and I'm going to save it to my quote file folder. And then export. And you can see it's filling up here. So those are my quotes. And then just as I did with my Illustrator document, I just export all the assets, and then I feed them into my campaign management system, and then I run them, schedule them and run them. And let me show you if you have an existing document here. I'll just do, for example, I'll do a portrait, Facebook portrait. I'll add that in. I just go to my Artboard tool, click and drag, and adjust my size, 630 by 1200. And then here I adjust my naming here, so I'll just Facebook 630 by 1200. So then rules it up for you when you move an artboard. That's pretty handy. I'll export. Then when I do my quick export, this one will also appear in the list. I'll just run it again. I'll just delete these and run it again. Let's say I made a mistake. And then open. And it'll just fill it up, and it'll also put that new one, Facebook, my Facebook artboard. So if I wanted to do a portrait, I had one odd portrait, whatever feed, I could just add it. You can always remove it later. And that's it, my quick video on how to export a campaign using artboards from Adobe Photoshop. Please subscribe, like if you learned something. Thank you for watching.